Hey, Fins Nation. What's up, all you die-hard Miami Dolphins fans out there? It's your fellow Dolphins enthusiast here, buzzing with excitement because we've got some massive Miami Dolphins news from Week 13 that you won't want to miss. Alert! I've pulled in the latest updates from the web, and guess what? The game just wrapped up with a thrilling Dolphins victory over the Saints, 21-17. We'll dive into that fresh outcome right in the script to keep things current and hype. Man, can you feel that electric vibe in the air? Our Miami Dolphins just faced off against the New Orleans Saints in a nail-biter of a game at Hard Rock Stadium. And let me tell you, it was pure adrenaline from kickoff to the final whistle. As a passionate fan, I've been glued to every update on Dolphins news sites, and this matchup had all the makings of a classic showdown. Two teams hungry for a win, with injuries shaking things up big time. What do you think, fellow fans? Were you as pumped as I was heading into this? Drop your pre-game predictions in the comments below. First off, let's talk about those inactives lists that dropped before the game. They're always a game changer, right? For the Saints, star running back Alvin Kamara was sidelined with knee and ankle issues, which was huge for our Dolphins defense. No Kamara meant New Orleans had to lean on backups, and guys like Ugo Amadi, Regin Wright, Barry Wesley, Zaire Mitchell-Payton, John Ridgway III, and Christian Boyd were also out. That's a hefty hit to their lineup, especially on the ground game where Kamara's averaged over 4.5 yards per carry this season. As Dolphins fans, we know how crucial these absences are. Remember last year when injuries derailed our run? This felt like karma swinging our way. On our side, the Miami Dolphins inactives included quarterback Quinn Ewers as the emergency third QB, which kept our depth intact but raised some eyebrows about backup readiness. Cornerback A.J. Green III, linebacker Andre Carter II, wide receiver Taj Washington, and defensive tackle Matthew Butler were also scratched. Luckily, our questionable players all suited up, giving us that full-strength feel. Fellow Fins, does this make you appreciate our roster depth more? Share your thoughts. Did these inactives tilt the odds in our favor? Kicking things off, the game started slow with both defenses stepping up, but our Dolphins struck first with a crisp drive led by Tua Tagovailoa finding Tyreek Hill for a 12-yard touchdown pass in the first quarter. The Saints, without Kamara, struggled to establish the run, forcing their rookie QB to air it out early, but our secondary was locked in, limiting them to just a field goal. By the end of the first, we were up 7-3, and the crowd at Hard Rock was roaring. Miami Dolphins news flashes were already buzzing about our early dominance. Building on that momentum, the second quarter saw our run game explode. Achane ripped off a 28-yard scamper, setting up another score with a Jonnu Smith TD catch. New Orleans tried to respond with Chris Olave making a couple grabs, but our pass rush, led by Chop Robinson, sacked their QB twice, forcing punts. Halftime score, Dolphins 14-3. As a fan, I was yelling at my screen, "This is the resilient team we've been waiting for." What about you? Were you fist-pumping during that half? Let me know if Achane's runs got you hyped. Entering the third, the Saints came out swinging, finally connecting on a deep ball to Olave for their first TD, closing the gap to 14-10. But our Dolphins didn't flinch. Tua orchestrated a methodical drive, mixing passes to Waddle and runs by Mostert, capping it with a field goal to push it to 17-10. The energy was palpable. Miami Dolphins news updates were highlighting our third down conversions at 60%. Stats like that show our poise under pressure. Then, boom, early fourth quarter, Tua hits Hill again for a 35-yard bomb, extending the lead to 21-10. The Fins were rolling. Saints weren't done, though. They mounted a drive with quick slants and a lucky DPI call, scoring a TD to make it 21-17 with under 5 minutes left. Our defense needed to step up, and they did. Jalen Ramsey with a massive interception on the final drive sealed it. Pure Dolphins magic. Fans, that pick. Epic, right? Who was your MVP in that clutch moment? Comment below. Reflecting on the win, this pushes our streak to 3 straight after a rough 2-7 start, bringing us to 5-7 and keeping faint playoff hopes alive. Saints dropped to 2-10, officially out without Kamara. Their offense averaged under 3 yards per rush, per the latest Miami Dolphins news recaps. Our D held them to 17 points, with 4 sacks and 2 turnovers. Stats don't lie. This was gritty football. Tua's performance? Solid, 245 yards, 2 TDs, but some overthrows show areas to tweak. Still, he's our guy, leading us through the storm. The run game shone with 150-plus yards combined. Achane and Mostert are a dynamic duo that's got fans buzzing. What tweaks would you make? PHINS Nation. Let's discuss in the comments. Your opinions fuel the fire. Looking at key matchups, our O-line dominated the trenches, giving Tua time against a depleted Saints front. Without Ridgeway and Boyd, their D-line couldn't stop our interior runs. We exploited that for big gains. Miami Dolphins news is praising our coaching adjustments. Adapting on the fly turned potential weaknesses into strengths. On special teams, Jason Sanders was perfect on kicks, while their return game fizzled. Small edges that added up. Defensively, Calais Campbell anchored the line, stuffing runs and pressuring all game long. Fans, how huge was our front seven? Drop your takes. Did they win it for us? Mid-game adjustments were spot on. After the Saints' third-quarter score, we tightened coverage, limiting Olave to under 50 yards post-halftime. Offensively, we mixed tempos, keeping their D guessing. Quick huddles led to explosive plays. This win exemplifies Dolphins' resilience. From early struggles to now, it's a turnaround story. As we hit the stretch, this momentum is key. Next up, the Jets on December 7th. Mark your calendars. Saints' late push showed their fight, but our composure under pressure? Chef's kiss. Miami Dolphins news is already previewing how this boosts our confidence heading into rivalry week. What are your predictions for the Jets game? Let's hear it. PHINS faithful. Player spotlights. Tua, despite critiques, completed 68%. His connection with Hill, 100-plus yards, is unbreakable. Achane's speed burst for 85 yards. He's emerging as a star, averaging 5.2 per carry. Defense. Ramsey's INT was the dagger. His leadership elevates everyone. On the Saints' side, Olave fought hard with 7 catches, but without Kamara, their balance was off. Our inactives didn't hurt much. Depth players stepped up seamlessly. Fellow fans, who's your unsung hero? Share in the comments. Impact of Kamara's absence can't be overstated. He's their engine, and without him, they managed only 80 rush yards. Our D feasted with multiple tackles for loss. Stats from Dolphins news sites confirm we controlled the line. This win validates our rebuild. Young guns like Ewers waiting in wings show future promise. Team morale? Sky high after 3 wins. Fans, can you feel the tide turning? Playoff math. At 5-7, we need to run the table, but stranger things have happened in Dolphins history. Miami Dolphins news is optimistic. With winnable games ahead, why not us? What do you say, playoffs or bust? Let's debate below. Historical context. This marks our first win over Saints since 2021. Sweet revenge.